What's up, disc golf fans? Welcome to this week's episode of The Nest, a disc golf podcast where we talk about the most relevant things in the disc golf world, even when we're quite a few weeks behind. And truthfully, we've missed a few weeks. Part of that is we live like 4 hours away. I'm doing school right now. Mike's constantly working, so we got to find time around that to schedule it. And this is just the time that worked out. And of course, with the season starting, we'll definitely be in more of a rhythm of having more things to talk about and making sure it's a priority to come out with these episodes for you guys. With that being said, how are you doing, Mike?
That was a long-winded intro, but it was pretty good. On your first try, too. Pretty impressive.
Of course.
I'm doing all right. I'm looking out to about 4 inches of snow right now, so not ideal seeing in Vegas this week, but it's fine. It'll turn around eventually.
So I think the first thing to talk about is the All Star event, and it talking to Mike a little bit before, it doesn't seem like we have a whole lot of opinions on the event because it appears me and
Well,
Mike
I
didn't
watched the whole
a whole
thing
lot.
from start to end, and it was great. I didn't watch any of it, but um, I went back and watched some of the highlights and just bounced around on the coverage to see how they were doing the coverage. Watched some of the putting. It seemed like pretty good coverage. It's not really going to give us any indication of what they're going to be doing differently this year, just because of the different format. But it seemed fine. Amazing ending. I saw the clips of the ending. That was pretty cool. What teams ended up taking it?
I think we had Team Calvin and Team Katrina, or Team Allen,
Hmm.
uh, taking the wins respectively. And yeah, I didn't. I think I wasn't really a big fan of the skills. I didn't enjoy watching that. It's not for me. It's a little bit harder to watch than actual um, coverage, like actual tournament play. But watching some of the tournament play was really fun. There was a lot of cool highlights, including the big throw in from Eagle at the end, and then there was a 500 and some foot ace from Nico that made it on Sports Center, which was super cool. So a lot of cool things happened this week. I think we got a good indicator of some of the people who are going to do really well, and we saw some rust. I mean, there were a lot of
Yeah.
missed like 20-footers. I
Yeah.
mean, I watched the whole card do it. Like, just all of them missed 20-foot putts. So, still some rust, which is fine. That happens in first tournament back. But I think that was a good warm up for the guys and girls who got it, and I think it'll carry over into Vegas and do the season.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the skills challenges either. Just personally, it's not like kind of like what you said. It's not something that super interests me. But I wanted to go through who won them. The points aren't really relevant because we don't people if they didn't watch it don't know the formats. But for the putting, Heather Young and James Conrad won putting, which
Not
not
that
really
surprising.
surprising. For accuracy, Nico Castro. And then for the women, there must have been a tie with Sarah Holcomb and Rebecca Cox. So I don't really know who I expected to win the accuracy for the women, but I was kind of surprised. I guess Holcomb kind of makes sense, but I always thought of Rebecca Cox kind of for the women a little bit more like kind of leaning on distance as like from the women's division. So having good accuracy was kind of surprising for me. And then for the distance, I don't think anyone was surprised. For the women was Paige, and then Garrett Gerthy for the men. I was surprised that Kona only lost to Paige by like 20 feet, 15 feet.
Yeah, they Kona and Page, aside from some of the European, definitely have the cleanest, smoothest, most efficient form, I'd say, in the FPO division. And of
Yeah.
course, there's probably some people that are a little bit lower rated that aren't on tour that might be, pretty close. But in terms of the top touring FPO, Kona and Page have very clean form and throw very far. So
Yeah. So yeah, I think that I think it was overall for the Disc Golf Network like a good showing. I think that they did it well. I mean, it's hard to get people super interested when the Super Bowl is the same day, but it kind of is what it is, and people are really sort of interested to see if they're going to be making any changes with coverage. With some news coming out that they are going to be raising price slightly for Disc Golf Network. I mean, it's like a couple bucks more. It's
yeah,
basically nothing. But the big news, in my opinion, is that USDGC is not behind an additional paywall this year. So if you have Disc Golf Network, you will get USDGC this year, which compared to years past is a big deal. So I'm curious
Yeah.
how that played out with Innova and with Disc Golf Network.
Maybe Innova just thought that this is something we need to do so we get more people watching, and I mean the more people that watch, inevitably the more hype that's around it. So even if you get those diehard fans to pay the $25 to watch it, you still lose a lot of that hype from the
Yeah.
people that are willing to pay 5, $10 but aren't willing to pay 25, $30. So
Hmm.
maybe Innova just saw that and decided to make a change, and I think for the better, probably. I would
Yeah.
hope. Yeah, Innova knows what they're doing when it comes to money. I think we
Yeah.
know that by now. So
And one other thing that the network has added is the ability to buy just a single round of live coverage,
really, I didn't know
and
that.
then a tournament too. So I think a round was $4.99, and then a tournament I think was like $11.99, which is the cost of a month membership. But if
Right.
you don't want to commit, it makes sense. So there's people griping. They'd gripe if it went up 5 cents. So it is what it is. But it looks like they're adding things. All the majors are going to be on the Disc Golf Network this year.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think it'll be good. Speaking of Disc Golf Network, the news came out just a couple hours ago that among some other commitments and contracts being signed, Jomez, everyone knows, loves, probably the most famous network or video coverage, signed a 2-year $500,000. Well, they paid $500,000 to get rights access to have next day coverage for the Disc Golf Network this year for all the elite events. Not sure about like USDGC and the majors. I didn't read that, but basically they have lead coverage, which is pretty big because I had been hearing some rumors, some pretty strong rumors from people that I would think know what they're talking about, that Disc Golf Network was considering next year or the year after, just taking over all the coverage, including next day coverage, and just having people hired in. Whether that's true or not, we'll never know. And maybe that does happen in a few years, but for the next 2 years at least, Jomez has the rights to it. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I was just gonna say it's a big difference from a few years ago. I don't exactly remember how many years ago, but I remember Disc Golf Network was paying
Gentlemen.
channels to do next day coverage, and now they just got paid $500,000 just to have the rights. So it's a big deal. I hope that money goes towards the players. I'm sure it will in some asset, or some way. But yeah, it's a good step for all parties, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's probably just like a wake up call for a lot of these companies that, your time might be short here, doing what you've been doing in the past. And because I would assume these companies, especially like Jomez, felt pretty pressured to the point where they'd pay $500,000 for 2 years, um, because in the past they hadn't been paying anything. Like
Right.
and I truly think Jomez is making the amount of money that $500,000 is a worth
Yeah.
an investment that's worth
They
it, and it's going to be
they
prosperous.
wouldn't probably wouldn't do it if they wasn't, right. So
Right,
at least they
right.
think it is.
They think it is, and I'm willing to say that it is. Like I think it's a very smart move, but I think it is a wake up call for them to know that hey, like it's either the price is gonna keep rising or this won't be the future.
Mm.
So super interesting, but I think Jomez makes a phenomenal product, so I am happy to see them come back and make next day coverage because I know it's bigger than the Disc Golf Network as of now in terms
Yeah.
of outreach and especially newer players. Like Jomez is the first thing everyone's ever watched. I don't
Yeah.
think everyone's like the first thing I've ever watched disc golf was on the Disc Golf Network. Like that's
Correct.
just not true.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I've noticed lately, Jomez has started to. Obviously, it's the off season, so they have to put out something, right? But even towards the end of last season, they're kind of almost transitioning to not just focus on coverage, but add these specials. They just did a great special, actually at Dan's. I don't know if Dan saw it or not, but they were playing at Bethel University,
I had
and
no idea.
yeah, but it was like four pros with Grammy award winning guitar player. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Oh, it starts with a W. Sorry.
like
Yeah.
Wolf something or anyway. That was at
Wolf.
Bethel. Yeah,
I didn't know that. I'll have to
yeah,
watch that.
it was.
That's where I go to school, so
Sorry,
that's cool.
I just doxed Dan, but
Oh man, they're coming for me.
yeah. So and that was like an hour long, but it was great. A lot of good feedback, and maybe they're just doing it to add on. But part of me thinks that they're sort of trying to feel the market out on what they can continue to put out if it's not coverage. Because they're gonna maybe they think they're gonna have it forever, but I'm sure they don't. So they have to have different avenues if they want to keep their fan base, right? So yeah, no, I think like I said, it's a huge difference from them paying the YouTube channels to do it. Every major sport, that's where most of the money comes from, is those deals to have access to. For most sports, it's to have access to the live. CBS pays $1 billion to have March Madness, or whoever it may be. So it's a little different in disc golf, probably always will be, but yeah, I think it's a good step, and it shows that the money's being pushed around in the sport right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
And
so
with the
yeah, go ahead.
upcoming event, is that where we're going?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, with the upcoming event, we have the Las Vegas Challenge, which is typically where we start our year off every year. We have, some smaller events like the Shelly Sharp. Trying to think of the other one. The Wintertime Open. There's a few
Hmm.
different smaller A and B tiers that we see a lot of the kind of
Tune-up
lower level
events.
tune-up events, yeah, for some of the not quite top of the line. But this is the event where we get things into gear. We get to see where everybody's at. We get to set a tone for the year, and a lot of people come and make their statement, especially the top 5 guys. This is a big statement for them. And we saw last year, Eagle McMahon took it down.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that most, Paul's not there, is he? I don't think Paul's going to
No,
be
he's
there.
not.
Basically,
No.
everybody else, though, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those events that it kind of goes both ways. Like I know Dan saying that it's a big statement, to make a point for those big players, but it's also an opportunity for some of those mid tier players to have a great event and get their name out there and get on the hype train. You think
Yeah.
about like last year, like Ezra just going off in Las
Shot. Yeah.
Vegas.
1099.
And all of a sudden, people were thinking maybe he was going to have this breakout season, and whether he did or not, I mean, he had a very good season, but it got the ball rolling on talking about him. He just signed a new contract, so it's an opportunity. People are dying to get good disc golf right now, so if you can squeeze your way up towards the top conversation early on in the year, you're going to get momentum for the whole year.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, this is a course that's pretty long and wide open, so that does tailor to those longer throwers like an Ezra, like an Eagle. These people that consistently do well at courses like this. The wind, it is windy sometimes, so that kind of throws a wrench in things. But basically, you can expect a long thrower to probably take this, but I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, at the top 3 guys on lead card are Calvin, Ricky, Eagle, which are all guys that throw 550. So, um, at that top level, these are guys that are all get to get down that week. And so with the lead card, they'll have Calvin Hybert, Ricky Wysocki, Eagle McMahon, and then I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce Linus Carlson. I'm guessing
From
Sweden.
yep.
So from a European player, which is super awesome to see. We got a lot of European players this event. I think I saw Seppo is here. Jackie Chen is going to be on the second card.
I'm stoked for him to be there.
Yeah, I could go down and find some Silver. Lat is here. So just a lot of European guys, and even, of course, what even might be more of a storyline is the FPO
Oh yeah,
Supercard, which is about to be the most fun FPO card we've seen in 3 years.
listen. I am more excited for FPL this year than MPO. I actually truly am. I've never been this excited to watch FPO. I'm gonna steal Dan's thunder, but basically the lead card here is Paige, Kristen, Henna, and Evelina. So it's the European girls and Paige. And when's the last time? When's the last time that Paige got last on her card?
Oh gosh.
I mean, probably USDGC this year on that whatever that.
Sure, but
But the point is Paige the fourth best player on this card? I mean, probably shouldn't
It,
say that, but you could.
it's a bold take, but after this event, I could see Paige getting fourth or fifth at this event and not being surprised.
Right.
Which
Not
years
saying, wow,
previous,
why did Paige play so bad?
right? And years previously, like that just wouldn't happen. And anything
Right.
below top two is you missed it that week.
Yeah.
This time she could come out and play a really solid game and get fourth place. So
Yeah, this year for it, obviously we don't know exactly how long the European women are going to be in town. I know they
pretty
have to
long.
kind of go back and forth a little bit. I think they're like the first 3 or 4 events, right? Um,
Las Vegas, Memorial, Waco, Texas States, the PDGA champ. So it looks like it goes all the way to April 14th for Henna. I would assume it's roughly the same
yeah,
for,
yeah.
so
I mean, assuming they're here for the majority of the season, this is going to be what MPO was kind of last year, and maybe even more so, to where it's going to be really hard to win an FPO this year.
yeah,
Paige in years past, maybe not so much last year, but still, it like you said, if she's not top 2 or 3, we're talking about, man, Paige blew it, or man, Paige played bad.
right.
And to Paige's credit, I don't know if I'm defending Paige here or not, but if she gets third or fourth this week, I'm not, unless she like visibly plays really bad, I'm not gonna be questioning how she played. It's just that these people are really good that are over
Yeah,
here. You
really
know,
good.
I mean, you have 5 women that are 970 or higher in this tournament, which is pretty crazy.
It's phenomenal, and I'm super excited to see how things shake out. And there's some ladies under that lead
Yeah,
card that are just as good. Katrina Allen, Missy Gannon, Jennifer Allen, bombs still,
yeah. Look, yeah,
still,
especially at this course, yeah.
yeah. So
There's just so many fun storylines on FPO, like how the Europeans are gonna do. Kona, obviously, with that big contract. I mean, you have to scroll pretty far down before you see her name, like 10th or 12th rated player.
yep,
Will she perform to what people are hoping for on that big contract? Obviously, Katrina switching discs, being world champ, arguably between her and Paige the best last year. I mean, there's a lot of fun storylines to follow for the FPO this year. I
Haley
think they're really going to have a growth in viewership.
Haley King with a new sponsor.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think she's here.
she is. She's the 5th highest rated, so she's right under those 4. The other thing is, just a thought. I didn't know until I looked into it. I was having a conversation. Um, Hannah and Evelina are both like 22 years old only, so they're they're gonna be
I
around a
have
while.
no idea they were that young.
Yeah,
I mean, Paige is even like what, 26 probably?
older, older.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
she's 20. I think she's 29, 28.
yeah,
And
that's
then Katrina's
wild.
obviously like 30. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah, I don't.
something.
She's at least older than 30.
Yep, she's older. She's in the 30s.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so we have some young talent coming through. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, and eventually we have to acknowledge, like, obviously, I'm not saying it's anytime soon, but I mean, Paige is gonna and kind of all of a sudden be one of the older women on tour as far as those top players, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic switches over the next few years.
yeah, and I'm super curious to see just with um, it's no secret that she throws hard and you can see it's a full body movement for her. So I'm curious, like longevity wise, how long her body will keep up with that. I
Yeah,
know she does plenty of things to keep her body in health and good health and stuff like that. But I am really curious to see, even with the MPO players that are getting older like Rick and Paul, how long they're gonna keep up at they're always gonna be good. But I'm curious
right.
distance wise, how far they're gonna throw, just stuff like that. I'm always curious. So yeah, it's gonna be super interesting.
So I think Dan and I were talking about it, and each week, we're going to go ahead and both make a pick for both the MPO and FPO. We're gonna have 2 picks per division. The first pick is any player you want. There's no cap on rating. And then the second pick is 10, 20, or lower. And we will combine all 4 of our picks and just take what place they got, and whoever has the lowest number, which means people average the best place, is going to come away the winner that week. And we're going to keep track of it. We'll see how far of the lead I get on Dan before he gives up. And yeah.
Who gets to go
So
first?
I'll let you go first.
Really?
I
MPO
well,
first?
you get to pick. It can be any. It can be anywhere. You can go FPO first. You go MPO
Okay,
first.
I'll go MPO first, and I'll choose my any player. I'm going Rick. I
Gonna go
mean,
Rick.
Dagger, bad man, bad man.
I
Skip
forgot,
All-Star
dude.
event.
I honestly, until you said that, like, forgot that Rick's throwing trilogy again. This is gonna be.
That's
It's gonna be such a fun year.
scary.
Um, shoot. Okay, I am going to go ahead and do. So, oh, wait. One thing I didn't think about is how are we doing FPO because everyone's under 1020. So
Oh,
what's our value pick?
sure.
Should we go? Just
Let
looking
me
down, I think we should do like.
950 maybe.
No, that's too low. Let's do. Let's just do 9. Trying to see who like it would be someone you'd pick for your winner and go lower than that.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
950 is fine. 950 is a good number.
Okay,
950 and
okay.
lower.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll definitely be including a little bit more like underrated people, I think, with that, but I think that'll
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and just do my MPO, and I'm going to go with. Actually, wait. I might want to steal. I'm trying to think who you're going to take for FPO. I'm going to go FPO first
Okay.
because I don't want you to take another top person before me, and I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Evelina.
Dang it!
It's your girl. It's
No!
your girl. I knew you were going to
No!
be upset. But I will say. I haven't seen her since the last video we watched together of her putting.
The last video we watched together was not.
I'm
pretty.
sure she's got it. She's got it nailed down though, and she's gonna run away with it.
All right. With that, I think I'll go with the 950 rated player and go with my girl Kona, 949. And
If I would have saw that she was 949, I would have said like 948 and lower.
sorry, man. She's kind of the sleeper pick, but she's 949 for a reason. So we'll see.
Right.
I'm gonna put my faith in her though.
All right. I'm gonna go. You can't take anybody higher than 1020, so I can wait for that for my last pick. So I'm gonna do my value MPO pick, and 1020 or lower. Can we do 1020 or does it have to be lower than 1020?
You can do 1020.
Okay. I'm not going to. I don't know why I asked that.
Yeah, I looked at the names. I was like, it's okay. I know where you're thinking. I know where Mike's going. I know exactly where he's going.
Albert Tam, Austin Hannum, and Brody Smith are all the same rating.
Yep. Interesting.
I want one of us to pick Brody, but I don't think you're going to do it.
I'm really conflicted, but
I'm going to pick Albert. I'm gonna pick Tam. But I'm not happy about it.
oh, man, I don't know whether to go Brody Smith or just a few slots below.
Oh, I didn't see Seppu. I'll trade you Brody for Seppu.
No. I like to go Brody here, but I think Seppo being back, it's only fair to the guy. And I hope Seppo does really well here. I think I'm going Seppo.
I like that pick. All right. So I have let's see. Who do I have? I have Evelina. And did I only pick 2 so far? Yeah, I've only picked 2.
Yep. So you have your MPO any player and then your value pick for FPO.
Okay, and you haven't picked I'm gonna do value pick FPO then. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do. I'm gonna go Ella Hansen for my value.
Okay.
937 rated. I think she's gonna play well.
Yeah, that's a really good pick actually.
I was surprised to see her that low.
How long ago did they all play in the Vegas challenge together? Holy buckets! I'm trying to figure out. You went Evelina. It's either between. Oh man, I just can't see myself picking Kristen here. I think it's too long of a.
I will say,
Sorry.
in the last 6, so I brought this up on a different podcast actually. So the last 16 times that all 3 European women have played together, Kristen has only won 3 out of 16 times.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go henna
which is
here.
so scary because she
It,
dominated when she was here.
I'm gonna have to go henna.
You're gonna go henna?
Yep. Sorry, Paige.
I'll you that. Sorry.
No, not at
All
all.
right, and then for my any player for MPO, I'm going to go. I wish Paul was here.
Paul's good. Paul's always good.
Calvin doesn't know how to win anymore, so I can't pick Calvin.
That's wild. Don't go there. He just won the All-Star event.
Oh, stop!
With ice in his veins, he made that putt. That's a scary
that's like
Calvin.
you trying to put putting league on this on your PDGA win column.
Yeah, I might. I might.
Just because you have one more win than I do.
I'm a putting state champion, actually.
From what?
Thank you very much.
From states?
State. Yeah. Sorry, dude.
How did they do that? How many putts was it?
I was like 15, I think.
How many did you make? Like 4?
Whoa, you're wild. Moving on.
Anyway. Oh, that was in. Oh, no, yeah, you earned that one. That was
Yeah,
no. I thought you were talking about junior.
Oh,
when you
no,
were-
no, no,
okay,
no, no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
no, no, no.
Sorry, we're getting off track, guys.
Yeah. So
Our,
to clarify, I am a putting state champion.
Oh, I got a second, right? Oh shoot!
Oh my goodness.
You picked
Pick your
Ricky,
player.
right? You picked
Yeah, I
Ricky.
did. Of course I did.
I'll go Eagle. He's gonna go back to
Oh, his
back.
elbow's broken. Sorry.
He'll be fine. He's gonna throw left-handed.
True.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
I think that I don't know how viable it is for most people, but if you can actually do that at a high level, I think it'll be very helpful. Even if you still are able to throw forehand from time to time, it's way nicer on your body
I think
and
it's
your
the
elbow especially.
I think it's the equivalent of like being good at throwing grenades. Like,
I can see that.
like throwing sidearm is a lot better because it's I don't know. I don't know. I know the whole like it's hard on your body and his arm's probably still not 100%, but it's
I've
just
been
kind of
so
like it's not real. First of all, it's not realistic for people to be like, I'm gonna go do this because, okay, for the most people listening to this, you're not good enough at your regular hand, so just use
that's
that one.
of course.
But I mean, it just shows that Eagle is not really a normal person.
He's truly different.
Nico's actually pretty good at left hand as well.
Really.
Yeah.
And quick, I guess we hadn't talked about it, but Nico did sign with a sponsor. I think
Right.
I don't know if we talked about it, but with
We
Clash
didn't.
Discs and
Gateway and Clash.
Gateway again. So kind of an open bag. I'm not sure what he's throwing, but good for him. It seemed like he enjoyed his time with the All-Star event.
I don't know how open he's gonna make it, but from what I understood, both companies were fine with him throwing anything he wanted. So
That
like
sounds about right.
so like if he wants to throw, I'll call mainstream discs, he'll be able to.
Yeah.
But not streamlined mainstream.
I've been so far into the off season. When you said grenade, I literally thought of like a physical grenade, and I was like, wow. But disc golf grenade, yeah. It's been a long time. I've been playing a lot of video games in the off season, so.
Hopefully you're better at those than putting.
All right, and with that, I think we better get out of here before it gets too crazy. That's all we have for you guys this week. Next week we'll come back with the results of Las Vegas, and we're into the season after that. There's events pretty much every weekend, so we'll have stuff to talk about, storylines, and of course I'll be coming out on top with the player selection. But until next time, see you guys later.